Hey gang, how are ya? Long time no talk. You good? That's good to hear. I've got a few updates for you. First and foremost, 5things will be back. I know, it's been a minute since I've pontificated on tech, and there are a few reasons for that. The least of which is this. In the event you didn't know, after 10 plus years at Keycode Media, I've moved on and spent 2019 at Bebop Technology, a startup based here in LA. Bebop has created a platform that enables remote and cloud-based video editing with apps like Adobe Premiere, Avid Media Composer, as well as dozens of other creative apps. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's back up to about 18 months ago to early 2018. I decided it was time for a new professional challenge and something that made a difference in our little sliver of the universe. I examined the technology landscape for post-production, and I looked at what was the future. And of course, it's not just a faster widget or a larger whatchamacallit. I simply asked myself, what was going to be the next inflection point for our industry? Of the handful of possible change catalysts there were, and still are, the cloud spoke to me as the instigator for a revolution in technology and workflows. And while the cloud isn't anything new, the cloud as it's been used in post has been fairly minimal in the grand scheme of things. Mostly for file transfers or as a storage medium, and sometimes for creativity, but always a distant second to on-premises technology, and largely utilitarian in usage. I spent a while poring over, researching, and sniffing around various companies, both large and small, that I thought might be potential candidates. And a small startup that had been on my radar and even a footnote in a handful of my earlier talks and presentations continued to pique my interest. That's Bebop Technology. And so, since December, I've been twisting and molding things that I know how to do into something meaningful for the company. It hasn't been easy, and at times it's been downright uncomfortable. But we've got insight, we've got innovation, and I'm hoping that I can bring our ideas to you.
We have such sights to show you.
And this does lead back to 5things. What shape will 5things take now that I'm in a new role and at a new company? I suppose we'll find that out together. I'd love your feedback on topics to cover, and if a more conversational format like this is better. And now, the second reason. I'd like to share with you the personal reasons that 5things has been on hiatus. I'm hopeful that by sharing this, it may spark you or spark others to take action. I'm no stranger to chemical imbalances, whether it was Ritalin for ADD in junior high to any number of traditional depression-related medications I've been on since then. I've always struggled with finding a balance. As anyone with depression will tell you, living with it, let alone fighting it, is a never-ending process. If you're lucky, you can find a balance, whether it be through therapy, constructive outlets, or medication. And for the most part, I've walked that tightrope for a long time now. As I mentioned earlier, 18 months ago was a very challenging time. Both of my parents passed away in a very sudden, very tragic, and unfortunately, very public way. And while I had a great support system during this time, these events and ongoing fallout were only fuel to the depression fire. While I was able to put my head down shortly after their passing and will a few episodes into existence, it became apparent that my head nor my heart were in any place to keep it going, and quite frankly, do anything more than the bare minimum on a day-to-day basis. It sucks, because then you feel bad about feeling bad, and then you feel bad about not doing the things you think you should be doing. Trying different prescription depression medications is not an overnight fix, if it works at all. It can take weeks to see any difference in medication changes. More natural remedies like CBD, with and without THC, prove to do more harm than good. I'm also not sure how much longer my liver could hold out drinking like a frat boy. And finding a decent therapist or doctor in this day and age, well, I still haven't found a good one. When you mix the severe depression and chemical imbalances with a life-changing career direction, well, you can see why things came to a grinding halt. I'm not here to tell you I'm riding rainbows and all is perfect. It's not. I'm fighting daily. The only difference is that I've reached a point where I truly know that a bad day or a bad week is only temporary. And while this doesn't make me any less miserable or things to suck any less in the moment, It does give me hope that things may be better tomorrow. It will get better. I urge you to reach out and break the mental health stigma. There are support systems even if you think there aren't. I know proactively taking steps to do anything like this is a massive undertaking when you're depressed. But when that break comes, that slight glimmer of hope, seize the opportunity and reach out. In closing, thanks for your support, thanks for staying tuned in, and thanks for being part of the post production community.